We ready? Mark, you good? Good. All right. Turn it over to head coach Sonny Dykes for an opening statement.
Yeah, proud of our guys tonight. I thought, we played hard. We missed some opportunities in the first half. I was disappointed about. We got down in the red zone twice and only resulted in one field goal rather. Had the turnover there. But the thing I was really proud of our guys about was, North Carolina comes out and drives it right down the field and goes up 7-0. And, our guys never blinked. I told the guys before we left the hotel today that I was really felt like they were prepared well. They had done a great job of doing everything we'd asked them to do and had a lot of confidence that they would go out and play well. And thought we did overall for the most part. A lot of things we got to get cleaned up. Tons of mistakes. But it was, we talked a lot about in the offseason about being a physical football team and needing to run the football. And, I thought we did that. I think we ran for 258. And so it's something that we needed to do, and proud of our guys for preparing to do it.
Kevorian Barnes ran for over 100 yards, had a great block to set up a touchdown on the blitz. He just kind of showed why he kind of earned that job today.
Yeah, I thought Kevorian played well. I mean, it's always interesting about running backs. You don't really tackle them that much. And so, we scrimmaged and did all the stuff, but he kind of had limited reps in scrimmages. We felt like he was going to be a tough guy to tackle and a powerful back. And we like our running backs. I mean, I think the guys we were 4 or 5 deep, and they're good players, and they were all well prepared. And I think Kevorian especially just ran tough. And as you talked about, I mean, he's a really good blocker, does a great job in pass protection. We got some different guys. I thought Jeremy Payne ran the ball well. And you got to see some of the young guys at the end of the game that I think are really, really talented. John Denman and Nate Palmer, and it's good for Trent Battle to get a touchdown as well. So proud of that group, man. We've come a long way at that position. I think we played physical, we played tough, and that's what we needed to do.
There's a lot of us who've watched this team for a while made some comparisons for this game to the one you had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything's different.
It is, yeah.
But this one felt completely different.
Yeah,
to you?
It did. Yeah, it was different. I mean, I think, let me put it to you this way. I didn't go into that game with the same level of confidence when I came into this one. And not because of our opponent, just because of the way we prepared. I just felt like we were trying to get caught up after 22. We lost so many players, and I didn't do a very good job getting our team ready to play. And we felt like we wanted to make sure that, given this opportunity on this stage, that our guys were going to be ready. And they were. And, I thought Andy Avalos and his staff did a tremendous job of making adjustments. We got on our heels early, and they ran a couple of things we weren't expecting. And then once we settled in, I thought we played really, really good defense and moved the ball pretty well most of the game.
What were they doing on that first drive that did catch you guys off guard? And what did you do to adjust?
Yeah, they went to basically 6-0 linemen. Got in 6-0 linemen, got us on our heels a little bit. We were having a hard time kind of getting stuff fit up in gaps. And once we got over the sidelines, made the adjustment, got settled in, and we played better. But we had to change a couple of things and how we were doing some things. And again, credit Andy for getting that done, and the guys for adjusting.
Last week you talked a lot about just the most important thing you can do to get eyeballs on you is win football.
Yeah.
What kind of impression do you think you made on the country tonight?
Oh, I don't care really, honestly. I just want to make sure we just keep getting better. And this was, I think when you play well your first game out, you kind of set the bar, and then you got to build off of that. Look, I think we all felt a little disrespected. There was a lot of conversation about this game, and none of it was about us. And so I don't pay much attention to that stuff, and the little amount of attention that I pay, I felt that way, personally, and I think our players certainly felt that way. So, did that make any difference? Probably not. Our guys started preparing for this game, in January. And so, anyway, but I think it gave us a little extra motivation, and certainly, guys were charged up and excited to play.
Can you describe the atmosphere? I mean, it was
a great atmosphere. Yeah. Fun place to play, great atmosphere, tremendous crowd. again, I just want to say this: I have a lot of respect for Coach Belichick and the success that he's had, and it's hard when you take over a football program. I mean, look, I went to Cal, and we went 1-11 my first year, and it was hard. We had to rebuild, and we had to kind of start from scratch, and now. 22, we also started 12-0 and played for a national championship. So it can be done and it can happen, but it's a hard thing to do.
They were clearly trying to take Eric away. What can you say about the performance of Jordan Dwyer today?
Yeah, Jordan, same thing. I mean, he's been very, very consistent during fall camp. He's a highly competitive guy. He and Josh just really connected. From the moment he got on campus, I think Josh really trusts him, believes in him. Jordan loves, having Josh as the quarterback, and the two guys are just really on the same page. And I thought he made some big plays, obviously in the game, especially early in the game.
As you guys got closer to game time, how much did you feel like you knew about what to expect coming in?
Well, not much. I mean, we really, every series was kind of like starting over almost on the sideline. Saw some different looks defensively than what we had seen. And certainly offensively, we had no really idea what we were going to see. We tried to prepare for everything. I mean, we had a couple of days versus triple option, just in case we got that. We wanted to be prepared for it. And so, we did everything we could to get our guys ready, and again, credit our players for picking up the scheme and buying in.
So can you speak to your offensive line and just what they did?
Yeah. The big thing we've been talking about really since the end of last year was being physical, and I thought those guys played physical. For us to have the kind of football team we want to have, we got to be physical up front on both lines of scrimmage, and particularly offensively, we got to be able to run the ball. We struggled to run it last year, and that was a huge focus of ours in the offseason. Every practice, every meeting, we talked about it. Every conversation I had with a player, we talked about it. And so, those guys knew how important it was, to play physical up front and to play with good fundamentals and low pads and finish and all the things that we've been talking about. But that was the big thing. Those guys came into this game with that kind of mentality, and our backs ran hard. And like I said, we're going to have a chance to have a good football team if we can run the ball.
You mentioned Coach Belichick. You guys did something against him tonight that no team's ever done, ever. Is beating him and having that kind of achievement, is that a special feather, or is it just another win?
I mean, look, it's kind of just the start of the season for us. I mean, honestly, and again, have tremendous respect for him and what he's done and his accomplishments. I mean, it's without question. But as I said, we wanted this game to be about us, and it was.
Coach, you talked about no one really talking about TCU and the disrespect. Josh Hoover's really flown under the radar this offseason. Can you talk about his performance tonight, how he handled the environment and the big spotlight?
Yeah. I thought really well. I thought he looked like he does every day in practice. He's just that kid that is prepared and very emotionally stable. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I was talking to him on the sideline late in the fourth quarter, and he was going through all the mistakes that we had made offensively and how much better we can play and how much better we're going to need to play. And I think that's just who he is, and I'm glad he's our quarterback.
Talk about Zach Chapman and how he just was able to pick up where he left off.
Yeah, it's good to see Zach. I thought we really played well up front. I mean, I thought Marcus Steele played well. I thought obviously Devean played well. I thought Zach played well. Ansel, I thought, did some great things. I mean, I just thought we played really, really physical up front on the defensive line, and he was a big part of it. I mean, Zach's a long guy. He's athletic, and he's learning how to play football. He's still a young guy. I think that was what was impressive. We put our second offensive line in, a lot of freshmen in that group, and they looked good. And our young players, I thought, played well. And we have recruited well. These last two recruiting classes we think are really, really good players, and they're nipping at a lot of guys' heels. And so anyway, I was glad to see him play as well as he did, and again, playing with that tough physical mentality, and that's what we have to continue to do.
Sonny, what's the next message to your team after a big win like this?
Well, we'll get home, look at the film. I mean, as I said, there's going to be a bunch of, on the film, really, that we could have done this better or should have done that better. We made this mistake or made that mistake or made it harder on us than it needed to be. And then we have a weird schedule. We were the last team, I think, in college football to play, and then we have an open date next week. And so we're going to have to manage it the right way. We got to make sure that, we'll give the guys off tomorrow, obviously. We're going to get back at 5 o'clock in the morning probably. Give them some time to rest up. Then we'll start practicing on Wednesday and getting ready for next week. That's kind of the way this stuff is in football. I mean, we got to wash it good, you got to wash it bad, and you got to move on and learn from the mistakes you made.
A couple more so we get to players.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Okay.
All right, questions for running back Kevorian Barnes and defensive lineman Devin Deal.
Guys, how did you feel coming into this? Obviously, the spotlight, obviously, a lot of people talk about him. What was it like kind of preparing and coming into this game?
To be honest, felt like it was like another game. Most of the time I was reminded by other people that Coach Belichick and all that, and the scenery is awesome, so I give him credit for packing the stands, but it was just another game. It's a lot of noise, you feed off the energy, but at the end of the day, we got to go do our job, so.
They scored that opening touchdown, you guys, pretty easily. Then you guys pretty much dominated the rest of the game. I guess what was the message after that opening drive, and why were you guys so successful the rest of the game?
Yes, sir. Give them credit. They executed their opening script. Most teams have a 10 to 15 plays that they have practiced a bunch, and they executed really well. We got to do better on that front. But we just told each other, like, we know who we are. We got to lock in, execute our assignments. We've proven it throughout fall camp, and we had a lot of confidence in what we've been able to do up to this point, and what we'll be able to continue to do. What were you thinking on that touchdown scoop? I've been telling everybody. So me and my brother's Nana passed away earlier, and that was her. Like, I ain't really do nothing but scoop the ball. She gave me the opportunity, took it. So that's my Nana. My Nana blessed me with that.
Coach Dykes was saying that you guys practiced like against triple option one day during, I'm assuming, camp. What were some other things that you guys practiced, kind of non-conventional stuff for the team?
We looked at a lot of the Browns film of Coach Kitchens and stuff. There's a lot that we had to do since there's not a lot of film of Belichick, this being his first game. And we practiced really everything, whatever they could throw at us. That's the blessing of having the first game. We had a fall camp and a lot of time to introduce things. So we practiced for everything. That way you're prepared for everything.
You didn't have the season you wanted last year, UTSA. So how much does it mean to you, your first game at TCU, prime time? You rushed for over 100 yards. Great block on the blitz that led to the TV. What does the performance mean to you?
It means a lot, just a testament to the hard work. Some people don't know the struggles that people go through when they have a down season like that. So just to come out here and come to a new program and be loved and brought in and get the opportunity to make some plays, it's just an amazing feeling. I give that nothing but to God.
That touchdown and the significance of when you hit it, and it almost seemed like the crowd was ready to go on home.
I don't know what to say about it, man. Just great blocking by the O-line. And, we kind of seen that their tendency was to what they were doing, and we made some adjustments coming out the half, and I got the opportunity to get the ball, and I feel like anybody in the running back room could have made that play, but I was just blessed to be in that position.
A lot of folks on the college game day said we're picking against you guys. How did you feel coming into this game? Coach Dykes said he felt disrespected. What did you feel?
I didn't feel disrespected. At the end of the day, what people say in the stand, that doesn't determine the outcome on the field as you see. So at the end of the day, we just got to get out there and play our brand of football, and people are going to say what they want anyway.
Mm-hmm. We're in last year, this running game struggled. I know you weren't a part of TCU last year. Can you just talk about the running game being a strength tonight and the guys that are in the room with you?
Yeah, so that's been an emphasis that we've had all spring, all summer, run the ball, stop the run. I feel like these guys did a great job today, not just me, but the whole unit, just everyone, and then the defense coming out and holding them boys under 50. It's just, it's just a testament to everything that we've worked for.
Anything else? All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For DB Bud Clark.
Well, just walk us through your interception. It kind of reminded me of you picking the Fiesta Bowl, to be honest.
Pretty much, it was almost like the same thing because we practiced it so much. They came out in the same split that we was looking for, and as soon as he did, he walked off pretty much, and I jumped outside because I knew I knew where he was going. So right then and there, I almost didn't expect the ball because I beat the route so fast.
Can you figure out why you got a penalty on that play at all?
I was trying to see, but I did like a little celebration. Maybe it looked like a gun celebration, but I for sure wasn't throwing up a gun celebration. Coach said we'll get kicked off the team for that, and I'm not trying to get kicked off the team, honestly.
What What is it like in a stage like this? Obviously an exclusive national game is kind of to have the performance you guys did in a game as decisive as
I pretty much look at it like the same game, honestly, like every other game. We prepare for it the same way, and I feel like this was just an opportunity to show ourselves, and we did.
What were those conversations on the sideline after that opening drive? They moved the ball down pretty easy, but then you guys basically shut down the rest of the game.
Pretty much just, man, we know what we're doing. Like, everybody take a deep breath. Let's lock in, settle down, and let's do it. And we did that.
But you've been around for a while. I know Sonny had said that he felt like there was maybe a little bit of disrespect towards your program. There was so much conversation about the game. And it wasn't about you guys at all. It was all about the other team and their head coach. Did you feel that way at all? Did you
very much so. Very much so. Very much so. But I honestly, I feel like that's, just give a little fuel to the fire. But it ain't too much because it's you see where they at and you see where we at now. So I can't say too much about it.
But how much does it mean? I mean, you've been around this program when they were a national darling and they were the biggest show in town. To have the singular spotlight and for your team to step up and perform the way they did with everybody's eyes on you guys.
I feel like it meant a lot. I feel like it spoke a lot of volumes for our team because we got a lot of young guys. You feel me? So I feel like everybody stepped up, played their role. Everybody was mature in the moment. Very much. We tried to stay level the whole time. Good plays, bad plays. We tried to stay level, and we did that. So I feel like as a team we grew.
How would you describe the atmosphere on the sidelines when you guys started kind of running it out in the third quarter?
Man, we were turned the whole time, honestly. From coaches telling us to stay, just stay level. The boys man, let's get it. Let's go. Let's get back on the field. Offense trying to get on the field, defense trying to get on the field. So it was everybody want to be there. And it felt great, honestly.
But the run defense was a little bit of a struggle last year. I think you held them under 50 rushing yards tonight. Just talk about the front of that defense tonight for you guys.
Them boys, I owe all them steak dinner for sure. I told them that we hold them under 100 yards. I get them a steak dinner, so I for sure do. But I feel like we've grown in a great way. We put different pieces like Ansel, Zach, Paul. So we got all them boys together, and I feel like they're on one page. Everybody's trying to go to the Natty, go to the Big 12, do everything we need to do.
Anything else, Bud, thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you. Have a good one.
For quarterback Josh Hoover.
Josh, when you guys run for over 250 yards like that, just how much easier is it?
What?
How much easier does that make your job?
I mean, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Especially we had some struggles last year, not struggles, but inconsistencies running the ball last year. So to come out tonight and do what we did on the ground is encouraging. I'm proud of our offensive line, proud of our running backs, the way they ran the ball. We've got some really, really good running backs. I mean, we've got 5-6 guys you could roll out there at any time and feel good about. So love that running back room. And then receivers did a great job blocking today. Eric had a great block on a long touchdown run. So just guys playing good without the ball, and then offensive line just being on the same page, and coaches just calling good plays, just good team effort.
A lot of energy in the building right at kickoff. They come out and score on their first drive. You guys punt on your first drive. What were you saying on the sideline after that to kind of keep the guys gathered and calm?
It's a long game. We're going to get a lot of possessions, and we never flinched. And so that just shows the character of our team. The mentality that we have is that, hey, there's going to be things that happen that don't go our way, and we're going to line back up the next series, and we're going to go execute and do what we do. And so that's what we did. And there was never any panic, never any issues on the sideline, and then you see the defense make adjustments and they go out there and shut them out for 10 straight drives, So love the way our team responded to that, kind of early, adversity. So that was good to see.
Josh, a lot of us made a big deal about Bill Belichick for the players, you guys. Was it a big deal to play against a coach with a resume like that, or was it just no big deal?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I didn't think about it much. I was just focused on doing my job, and obviously he's been a great NFL coach, and, props to him, but I'm just out here playing football and doing my job, playing against North Carolina. And for me, I've never really cared who the head coach was. It doesn't really have much of an impact on what I do. And so for me, I'm going out there doing my job and encouraging our guys to go play the best we can, and that's all I'm focused about. So that's kind of all I feel about that.
Josh, a lot of people watch this game. You guys have the exclusive window playing by yourselves. What is it like to perform the way you guys did when hey, the spotlight's on you, it's a big stage?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to just who we are as a team. We're just doing our job, And we're not worried about the spotlight. We're not worried about who's watching. We're not worried about if Michael Jordan's in the stands. Or I actually knew that he was, but it didn't distract me. But Michael, I knew like a couple days ago. But Michael Jordan and all these guys are at the game, and it's this big deal, kind of like Colorado was 2 years ago. First week, biggest game of the week, and we've said for a month now, it's all about the game. It's all that matters. Just going out there, executing your stuff. Playing the best you can play, and that's all that matters. So, all that stuff's great, but that doesn't have no effect on us. And as a mature football team, it's good to see guys go out there and just focus on their game, do their job.
From a coverage standpoint, did they do anything that you've never seen? Anything really crazy or weird? Did you
No.
watch like Pat's film and stuff like that?
Yeah, I watched Washington film mostly, a couple Patriots stuff from people that I know, but no, not really. They played a lot of cloud tonight. More so because of what we did early in the game. They got run by a couple times by receivers, and I think it scared them. So they know how much of a threat Eric is. Eric was getting doubled a lot, so you saw JD have some success. We've got some really good receivers, and so whenever you try to take a guy away, we've got two other guys that can hurt you too. So everything that they did tonight was nothing was out of the ordinary, nothing that I wasn't expecting, and they played a lot of cloud, just trying to stop us from beating them deep and stuff like that, and make us run the ball. And then when they did, we ran the ball. So they didn't really have an answer for what we were doing tonight, and proud of our offense.
Were they a little bit more man heavy before you guys got rolling?
No, they don't. They don't play a whole lot of man. A lot of one high zone. A lot of cover 3 stuff, variations, and then they'll play some cloud, and they'll play a little bit of man, third down, and some base down. But they're a lot of one high zone, and they were kind of early in the game, and they had, I think they did it 2 or 3 times, and we threw 3 verticals and got PI on one and 2 touchdowns on the other. And so I think that's all it really took for them to kind of quit doing that. So
how did what you saw on the Washington film compare to what you saw tonight?
Well, scheme-wise, similar. Personnel, obviously, completely different. But scheme-wise, a little bit different. We didn't. It was a lot of the same stuff. We didn't really get some of the zero stuff we were expecting when we crossed the 50. But it's every week there's a variation for what they're going to do, and this week was just kind of that's what they did. They played a lot of cloud and kind of mix it up. Played some different coverages on third down, try to confuse me, but nothing I hadn't seen, and we were mature about it.
Were you disappointed you didn't get to see the zero stuff?
Yeah, I wanted. As a quarterback, that's kind of when you get to throw some tugs. So, but no, I was proud of our guys.
You mentioned Eric's block. Go ahead. You mentioned Eric's block on that touchdown run. He was getting double teamed. Probably wasn't getting the targets he wanted. I guess what type of leadership did he show? Still making that type of effort on that touchdown.
It just shows you the kind of guy he is. Everybody knows what he can do when the ball's coming his way, and so what I told him is, hey, you're gonna have plenty of opportunities this season. And he was the first guy to go block and first guy to be excited for other people. And so that's when you have guys like that, it makes my job so much easier because I'm not over there trying to babysit and do stuff like that. So super proud of Eric and just his maturity, the way he's matured over the years. And he's going to have a great year. Him and JD and all these guys, Jack, there's a lot of talented players that are going to have a lot of targets. And so this is just game one. It's a long season, and I'm excited to watch their production and see what they do.
It was your first game to play with both your leading rusher and your leading receiver. What was with Kevorian and Blair? What did you do to make sure they could just come in and fit in and be part of that team and that culture and be able to go do what they did tonight?
Yeah, just try to create a relationship with them, and I feel like I have a great relationship with both of those guys. Jordan, he's been unbelievable since day one. Same thing with KB. They both work hard, do what they're supposed to do. They care, and so when a guy cares, it gives me a chance to help them and get them on the right track and try to get the, every time we kind of had a mold of guys that we had last year, and we're trying to recreate kind of what we had, and you kind of try to figure out the formula, and you get these guys in, and you have to try to figure out who they are, how to motivate them, how to get them to be their best. And every single day is a challenge for me. How can I get the most out of Jordan, and how can I get the most out of Eric and KB and all these guys? And that's the challenge. So I think just kind of getting to know them early on and kind of developing that trust, kind of what played into it.
Josh, it looked like they threw a lot at you, especially in the first half. Considering all that you played, was there anything that they did that you thought you weren't ready for, that you couldn't handle?
No. I don't think I saw anything that surprised me. Kind of felt like I knew what they were doing every time I caught the ball. Felt pretty good about just what they were doing and just seeing the field, and so felt pretty good about it. And obviously had the one tip deflection on the screen we're trying to get to, and Kind of unfortunate, left it a little high, and they got that one. I mean, just part of it sometimes, But we'll try to learn from it, figure out what we can do next time to take care of the ball better and get a field goal out of that. And but no, as far as feeling like I got tricked, not a whole lot. I think there was one time they kind of got me, and that was really it. So there was 1 3rd down where they played a coverage and kind of tricked me a little bit, but other than that was it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.